Let me ask you something. What would you do if fear didn't have the final say? Would you launch that business, speak in that meeting, start over with love, or move to a new city entirely? Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to A Dash of Colors, the podcast where we talk about life and life in general. I'm your host, Mimi, and today we're talking about something we all face but rarely want to admit, which is fear. Specifically, how to move forward even when fear hasn't left the room. The title of today's episode is Do It Scared. And yep, we're diving headfirst into that discomfort. I have been stuck once. I know how paralyzing it is when the thoughts in your head numb the truth about your capacity. I know how every single thing in your head re-echoes how incompetent, how not good enough you are. I know that feeling. I've been there severally. And on every single occasion that I had to deal with fear, there was really nothing spectacular that I had to do other than what I will be sharing today. So here's the truth. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to show up anyway. And I want to talk to you about how to take bold steps, even with trembling hands. The first thing you need to understand is that fear is not the enemy. In fact, it's a natural response. Do you know what the real enemy is? It's paralysis. Fear is natural. It means you care. It means you're stepping outside your comfort zone. But waiting to feel ready is often just a polished way of procrastinating. And when I say do it scared, I'm not saying be reckless with your decisions. It means have faith in motion, just go on, start something. Even when you're not even sure of yourself, just start something. But this is not saying, make careless decisions, be reckless. Obviously, the things I'm talking about today are things that you've calculated already. You know that, this is something that I really need to do. But then you're being held back because of thoughts like, what would people say? How will people receive this new me? And things like that. So the only solution that I would advise right now is that you do it regardless of how you feel people are going to receive these actions that you want to take. Now, you also need to understand that the breakthrough that we pray and desperately ask for is on the other side of discomfort. I remember coming back to podcasting again. My voice shook. Trust me, I had left podcasting for over a year and I really did not know how to say anything anymore. I've lost touch with the fact that I used to be very comfortable with having this microphone and then just saying all the things that I need to say. I started second guessing everything that I wanted to say. Something that you've left for over a year and now you're back and you want to have all that jittery feeling that you used to have. I didn't have all of that anyway, but I decided to record this episode. And now, look at me, I'm here speaking to you and you're listening to me. And trust me, we're going to be growing this podcast together. So if I had waited until I wasn't scared, I was very comfortable. Trust me, I've been waiting for over a year to be comfortable with speaking again. But just imagine I had kept waiting, right? This mic would still be silent now. Okay, so you need to understand that discomfort is really where the solution is. But we'll talk about that in passing later. Now, let's talk about the next thing and the next point I'd like to share, which is normalize fear. Be friends with it, but don't obey it. When I say be friends with it means recognize that you are afraid. One of the easiest way or quickest way to solve problems is to recognize that they are even there. When we talk so much about fear, like something that we have to conquer before we act, like we talk about fear like some milestone that we need to cross before we achieve the things that we want to do. But what if fear isn't the stop sign we think it is? What if it's just a signal that you're stepping into something more significant? You're stepping into something more mind blowing. Name it, feel it, but don't let fear boss you around. That's where the main secret is. Because the truth is, comfort is the enemy of productivity. I know how relaxed I have been in the last 1 year. And now that I think about it, I know that I would have grown my subscription list a lot bigger if I was consistent with talking on my podcast all this while. But then it is what it is. We're here now, right? So we need to step out of this comfort zone, this place that makes us feel safe. Because that is not where the powerful things that we want to achieve is. So here's your permission, my friend. You don't need to be fearless, but to be afraid and move anyway. Apply for that job, post that first video, make that call, have the conversation. You don't need to wait for the perfect confidence. You just need to say, I'm doing it, even if I'm scared. Because boldness is not about being loud. Sometimes boldness is whispering, I'm scared, but I'm going to try it anyway. Because admitting that is power. That's where growth is, and that's you at the end of the day. And so thanks for hanging out with me today. If today's episode lit a fire in you, share with someone who needs that gentle push too. And don't forget to follow and subscribe so you never miss your weekly dash of courage, color, and clarity. Until next time, remember to do it scared, but do it anyway. My name is Mimi, and I'll see you in the next episode.